Hello. Oh my goodness. Had to come in here today, guys. Gosh, happy it's Tuesday. Yeah. Definitely had to check that a couple of times today. Who doesn't love a timeline jump? I'm telling you, I do. This one felt like such a relief. Oh my goodness. First and foremost, welcome to the newest members of the Love Train. I did not get a chance to peek this morning, but please let me know if you are new. Let me know in the comments and let me know where you're from, because man, this community is growing and it is 100% organic. I do not advertise or promote it. So however you found me, it's energetically, and that was exactly how I was guided to do this. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because this community is just such a powerhouse now. We're evolving like crazy. So let's talk about, first I want to share, because, whenever I experience an example of, okay, life's throwing something at me, I know it's happening for me, even though it may feel crummy in the moment. So yesterday, as you know, after I was done with my report, I was like, I had it in my head. I was like, this body wants sushi. And as I was leaving, I could hear some loud construction noise that I could tell was just beginning. There's been some construction going on locally, let's say, and sometimes until 2, 3 a.m. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to let that get the best of me. I am staying present. I'm going to go enjoy some sushi. And then when I come back, I'll see what's going on. So the first beautiful sign I got was, I have two, you guys know I have my beach angels and I have my angel airport transfer group. There's two different drivers that I use. I've used them for a long time. They're amazing. They're just so reliable, and they transported many of the love trainers that came here for the retreat in Cabo. So I get on my Uber app, want to go, because it's humid, didn't want to walk. Ugh, very humid. And anyway, in rolls who I see the thing on my Uber app, and I'm like, that looks like Luis. It looks like his car too. And lo and behold, here comes one of my transportation angels. I was so excited. We got caught up. We were talking. He wanted to know when's your next retreat. It was so great. It instantly reminded me of divine timing too, because I got delayed. I was inspired to do the report, and I swear this is how my guides just show me that everything's divine timing. And there was Luis, had the most beautiful thing, laughed my ass off again at the sushi bar, had a beautiful meal, and came home, and there was the head person in charge that nobody wanted to talk to. They were like, that's the person. The security guards were like, that. Like they were literally hiding and pointing. And I was like, I'm gonna go talk to them. Let's go. So I had a beautiful discussion. I said, listen, I'm right up there. I understand work's got to be done. Can we make a cutoff time that's a little before 2 a.m.? And then they said, do you mind if we start early and then go? And I was like, hey, I'm an early riser. And it was beautiful. And he said, I'm going to talk to the condo association for tomorrow. He said, let me get your name. He introduced himself. He said, yes, I'm in charge here, la, la, la. And it was resolved so easily. Not only that, he called the crew away at that moment and said, I can tell you want some rest. He stopped the whole thing right on the spot. So now I know, had I gone guns a-blazing, he would have been like, listen, you need to calm down or we're going to do more jackhammering. And so it was just that reminder of staying present and not seeing this as something that's happening to me, and just really, managing your energy. Now, with that said, slept like a bear. I mean, slept so good. This did wake me up at like 4, I think it was after 4, it was between 4 and 5 a.m. Now, normally I do wake up at that time, but I was out cold and woke up. Then I felt this, felt the heat Oh my gosh, I was like, let me turn the air conditioner down some more. I could tell it was light energy because it's weird. It's almost like your body turns into a furnace. But it's weird because it's not that, like, you're not sweating. It's just this internal heat baking. But at the same time, I felt grounded and my mind was calm. And so I was like, asked my body, what do we need right now? And know what I heard? Sleep. So I went back down. I didn't wake up until 10 a.m. through all this. And this, by the way, I pulled at 11:30. You could see we were still getting it. So this is, now for some of you, this can wake you up and keep you awake because it may stir up the solar plexus and stuff. And when that kind of light's coming through the melon, as I say, it can disrupt your sleep. But here's what this led to for me, though. First of all, I love me a timeline jump. This is a collective timeline jump, okay? Which is different from your personal, right? You're choosing your own timeline to align with. This is a collective one that just kind of, boop, shoves us all forward, and it's always for the greater good of all, okay? And so this, I can't even tell, like, I felt like I was in a new timeline. I could tell immediately stuff had shifted. And I was actually having a conversation with someone yesterday before I went live, and I was looking for something that I had written down and given to them. And I was like, there's only 2 notebooks here. I went through, the notebook is missing. And I said, there's a timeline jump coming. And she said to me, oh, I can't find something. I can't find one of my instruments. And I was like, timeline jump, and boom, and there it is. So when things start disappearing and then reappearing, these are these timeline shifts. Because remember, everything is perception and then projection, right? So what's going on inside? So when we collapse these timelines like this, you know, within seconds, you can be experiencing multiple timelines. I know the noodle wants to make so much soup out of that. But we got to trust that. We got to trust it. Don't let the noodle make noodle soup. What do you mean? I'm in yesterday, I'm in tomorrow, I'm what? Just roll with it. It's truly what happens. And I'm going to show you the chakra chart. But more importantly, this morning when I did finally wake up for real, I was like, okay, now the body feels good. We're rested at like 10:30 a.m. I started getting downloads, and it was wild because I just sat up. I could feel just energy coming through, and then they were showing me this violet flame coming straight up, and then stuff streaming into the heart. And I was like, woo, this feels good. What the heck is going on? And so I asked for guidance. So we are still in the portal energy, right? All portals go for usually roughly 9 to 10 days, right? So a few days before the actual portal, and then they stay open. So this particular one, I asked my guides, and they said this one will be closing around, and they called it my number 10. So I think that meant my hemisphere. But they said, you're number 10. Okay, that's my Thursday, I think. So I wanted to come in and do the live, and I'm going to go over with you guys right now the information that they brought me. So all portals bring upgrades because it's an opportunity where basically it's, if you imagine the vortex widens and allows more. Now there are, how do I say this? Diffusers, energetic diffusers on Earth right now to help, because not everybody, as we've seen, can integrate these energies, right? So there are diffusers to help balance how we're receiving it so we don't feel fried, right? So, but I'm going to review now with you guys what they brought in for me. And then I'll say hi, because I see a lot of you in here that I want to say hi to. Okay, here we go. So the 7/7 portal is actively anchoring these major upgrades across not just the collective field, but in your personal field too, okay? And so this is what my guides brought in. And this is cool, and it's interesting because we have a few Lemurians, starseeds in our community, and I know that you guys have been really feeling the emotional intensity, because there was a false belief, right, that the Lemurians failed their mission, but they didn't. They were, misguided by shape-shifting. Anyway, that's a whole galactic story for another time, but I just wanted to bring this forward for those of you who are Lemurians, that right now, pre-Lemurian frequencies are being activated. And this is bringing back our memory of, are you ready for this? Our mastery over our physical density. Yes, we have mastery over the physical density, right? But it's not from fear, it's through love, it's through creating in a higher dimension and then seeing it into form. So these frequencies are being activated as part of the portal to bring back that memory over physical. Now, that doesn't need to mean anything to your human, okay? When I bring this forth, right, there's somewhere deep in you that actually knows what that is, but it's in your heart, not in the noodle. So it's not going to be on the stove with the broth and the noodles, okay? Just know that this information goes into your heart, and when you're ready, you'll be able to perceive it. Next thing that they brought forward, and I already knew this because we just got an activation for imagination last week, right, in focus group. See, they give us what we need sometimes before we know we need it. Intuition and imagination are being amplified, especially the power to create from the sixth dimension and focusing it into form. By the way, that's our next group class. It's exactly what we're going to work on. One of the things. So it's the power of us going into our imagination, focusing on the thing that has the most love, right? I just taught this in the timeline class. What feels yummiest? Choose that and focus that. The next thing, sovereignty codes. I love this. And these are all light codes that are coming into our bodies. Sovereignty codes are here to dissolve fear and subservience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, I saw the subservient energy last night with people that they were like, that's the architect. They were saying it like this person, like they were armed and dangerous. The architect is here. Oh, and it was the subservience energy. And that's going. It's going. It's got to go. Because we're all, right? Everybody's a divine soul focused in human form. So I am so grateful for that. And I even said to my guides, bring that in. I want that on the love train. Show me more. So I have already put in a request. More, please, sovereignty codes. Let's blow this up. Done with that crap. It's so ridiculous. Everybody's a beautiful soul. Just get over it. Next, here we go. Physical signs may include body heat. Another one, lucid dreams. Like, I had a crazy dream that I'm not even going to repeat because it was so crazy. But that kind of led me to thinking, oh, we had the timeline jump, because what happens is when there's a collective timeline jump like that, a bunch of potential timelines, right? So they may not have actually played out in your experience, but potential timelines collapse. And sometimes you see it in your dream and you're like, what the heck? So if you had the what the heck dream, just know it was just a potential timeline that collapsed. It's not something that actually played out. Sometimes it could be something that did play out, but either way, know that it's a healing, right? It's all for healing. And they said, again, a lot of deja vu. Okay, over the next 48 hours, and this is so I got this morning, so my 10, as they said, until my 10th, neural light codes are reprogramming limitation, meaning it's expanding our sense of what is truly possible. So in other words, they're going in our cabinets, they're getting the noodle soup, and they're throwing it in the trash because the noodle soup is limited. It's only got a few ingredients, they never change, and they're never good. It's never the best outcome. So these light codes are literally, and for me, it felt like when this came in that they were expanding our kind of reconnecting us with our imagination and what's truly possible in the sixth dimension that we have access to. So that's how that I took that. And it's just those limiting beliefs, like you are not a one-trick pony. No, lies, lies. If anybody told you were a one-trick pony, they were not awake. They were reading their own unconsciousness. So let it go and go into your heart. You've got gifts there and they are ready to come forward. Next, empathy and telepathy are increasing planet-wide. Yay. Empathy is what heals. Empathy is what heals. Telepathy, love this because this is true communication, right? By the way, telepathy only operates in the frequency of love. So if you have a negative, nasty thing that comes up in the noodle, that is not telepathy. It can only occur on the frequency of love. All right, next one. We're getting it really good. Portal is delivering. Endocrine system upgrades are now in motion. That's all I heard. I don't want details on the endocrine system because it usually has to do with caca. But just know upgrades are now in motion there. Next, the pineal and pituitary glands are now functioning as crystalline prisms. Ready for this? Translating the light codes into bioactive chemicals to support emotional and perceptual clarity in your physical body. So this is like, it's going to help with moods, and it's going to help with, I wrote down a bunch of stuff because when that came in, I was getting lots of downloads. Okay, so this is it's going to level out some of these emotional surges that you've been feeling. Strong cravings or strange cravings can fade away now. I would have some weird ones lately.